Beside me, Robbie Koenig on the call for this one. Here we go.
He stands in there close to the baseline, and Ben says, here's some firepower for you. Let me just go ahead and hit you with this body serve early on. How about this? Look at all the action there. Ben's got that right quad heavily strapped.
This is the first official meeting between these two. Never played each other, but there's a cool story that both of them remember from a futures event in Champaign, Illinois back in 2021.
First service.
Ben spoke about the fact that this was the first time he'd heard of Dane Sweeny, and he hit a diving forehand cross-court winner deep in a third set against an opponent at a futures event. That kind of went viral amongst all the boys at the tournament, and Ben was one of those guys who was there. And he was, who's this kid Dane Sweeny? I need to check him out. He's hitting a diving forehand winner on a hard court. And he was like, this is a cool kid, man.
Yeah, you can appreciate that sort of athleticism and effort. You're playing these events at the Futures Challengers on the way up. You see some faces, and you never know exactly who's going to be able to get up there. Everyone has that hope and optimism, but to play these guys and have these guys on this occasion, only a few years ago there, obviously Ben has made himself a top 10 staple now, and Mr. Sweeney's got to see what he can do here on the big stage.
Well, he embraced the big stage in his opening match against Gael Monfils, as you alluded to, Ryan. Someone who gets global support is Monfils, and Shelton not too dissimilar. Coached by his dad, just like Ben is. And Clay is on the very right of this shot. Nice catching up with him just before the match started. Sold his business to support his son's career.
Well, it's tough on this occasion early on. He had that big win against Monfils, but Ben Shelton's in a form down here in Australia, and you've got to try and make sure you keep pace with him early on. Shelton, if he gets that early break, he's lethal.
Thing that's clearly evident if you haven't seen Dane Sweeny play is how clean his technique is. He's one of the shorter guys on tour at 5'7". But when you have such clean ball striking and good technique, it certainly exaggerates what you do have, Ryan.
Well, he's got a very simple, compact swing. It doesn't have a big wind up. Uses that athleticism and speed to transition his weight forward into the shot, gets the most out of every strike.
40-30.
Good action on the serve here. Gets up on the ball, and he's coming in. Shelton with good vision gets that really low at the shoelaces.
That's so nice just to get that opening service going into your belt, settle the nerves. And as his dad, Clay, suggested, got to take care of his own serve. What do you make of the win predictor in your mind before it pops up? What do you think it is?
81% for Ben Shelton.
Okay. Cue director. 70-30. Okay.
You feel that's generous? Are you more along the lines of my thought? Or?
I think it might be an Aussie win predictor.
Potentially. What would your win predictor be?
Yeah, I like where you were. I'm going to go 79-21. Sweeny coming off a good win, though. Career best win. What a combo.
Low 15.
Good instincts. Covers that forehand side.
The forehand passing shot that we saw of Sweeny is one of the very few players that actually makes contact with a straight elbow. Now you have a look at some of the biggest forehands in our sport, and all of them have that technique.
Sweeny early on, he's adjusting the return position quite a lot on that side. He was heavily favoring the down the tee serve. On the ad side, I expect he'll take away the wide serve, trying to adjust to the lefty patterns. And that's the thing that's dangerous about the Ben Shelton serve. He's not a one-direction server. He's got all of them. Just there. He tried to go for that old Pete Sampras poster.
40-30.
Here's Brian Shelton, Ben's father and coach.
Too excited. What a great man. What a great family. Tennis family, of course. Brian's wife, Lisa Witskin. A couple of beautiful linear strikes early on. That'll help settle the nerves.
Yeah, and I can tell you when you go for a jumping shot like he did there previously, Ben Shelton, all of a sudden this game gets tight, and you have that in the back of your mind. You're thinking, oh, if I'd have just gone a little bit more simplistic, maybe this game I'd already be done with it. So it gets tricky when you don't execute something when you go for it.
Advantage Shelton.
It's not only the first serve of Shelton that is so venomous, but the second as well. Gets such good bite with his kick serve. He's got the slider, he's got the heavy kicker, changed the pace of it.
Game Shelton. Shelton leads
Good hold in
2
the
games
end.
to 1.
Tested, but he leads 2-1.
screen right now.
Time.
Of course, we'll be keeping an eye on both players' games, put it under scrutiny, and we know that the Shelton serve is one of the great weapons in our sport. And you can see the differential there. It's a big one.
Substantial. Obviously, at 5'7", Sweeney's not going to have the ability to hit the ball down with that vertical angle the same way Ben can. He's got to use those legs to the maximum capacity. You got to look for very good knee bend. That's one thing I'll be looking at on the Sweeny serve, just seeing how much elevation he can get into it.
Sweeney's been chiseling out a nice career for himself.
Love
Mental
15.
improvements, but especially in 2025. In February, he was ranked as low as 680. Finished the year 209. Some good results at Challenger level. Made the finals of the Playford Challenger late in November. And already the live ranking with a win here is at 148.
That's a lot of pop there on the forehand.
15
Pay
over.
attention to the body weight transfer. This is a great look at the serve. Look at the knee bend. The knee bend, he's an athletic guy, gets up, good position at the top. I love the follow through with the chest up, holding that position and balance, and really quick to get ready and set for this first ball forehand. We can put all that power into it, as you said, straight arm at contact. Interesting. I can't believe Shelton didn't follow that lob in. I don't see that too often.
Yeah, of course.
30, 15.
My dad, or your dad, it would have been a fine if you didn't follow in a lob that went over an opponent's head, right?
Yeah, the moment, I mean, I was just told the moment you see someone's back, if they've completely abouted face of the court, you've got to go. Obviously, they can't see you. This is, you know, with all that speed. I was just informed, I don't know if you've heard of these, the huntsman
30
spiders down here in Australia. Do you know those
Yes.
things that are massive and quick? About the only thing I could see moving around quickly that would have eyes in the back of its head. Sweeny facing the other way. Wouldn't be able to see Shelton coming on in.
This is one of the biggest talking points
30,
last
40.
season for Shelton was his return point one percentage. And it is significantly lower than a lot of the players on tour. And in order to be a top 10 player, normally has to be around the 35% mark. And he finished last year at 33.3. And I can tell you, since 1991, in the 35 years that we have been tracking players that finish year-end top 10, that is the second lowest ever return point one percentage to finish inside the top 10.
Wow. That just shows you how clutch he has to be on serve to overcome that number.
Any guesses as to who the lowest might have been?
It would have to be a massive server.
It is.
I'm going to give it a think for a minute as we get Shelton here setting up another break point chance, the accumulation of pressure. The thing for Sweeny here is that his size, he's not going to be able to erase these opportunities with one swing of the racket on most occasions. Shelton, he can evaporate break points with an ace or a service winner a lot of times. These are going to have to be hard-fought, hard-earned points for Sweeny.
He does break, and he breaks early. Patience, persistence.
I love the firepower, the energy, the concentration. You can see he's locked in there. A bit Rafa-like with that finish, getting a little more whip on the ball. And with that being said, Big John Isner is my guess.
And you are right. 29.4% return points.
29, and he finished number 10 or number 9? What was
he finished number 10 that year in 2018. That is the lowest in the last 35 years. And you get an early break if you're Ben Shelton, well, you go on to win the set at 84% of the time. And an early break is anything in the first 4 games, folks.
Sweeney's going to have to use his transition. I haven't seen a ton of him, but just watching his technique on the volley and the warm-up, it looked very clean and pure. He looked like he had very compact swings on those volleys. He's going to have to get in. I'm going to look at the net points and net approaches for Sweeny if he wants to try and make some progress in this match. He's only been in the net twice, hasn't been successful yet.
Of course, when you go to serve as big as Shelton's, you're holding more often than a lot of other players inside the top 100. That gives you a bit more flexibility on return, but if you want to be a top 5 player or a Grand Slam winner, you still have to break more regularly. But this is the platform that everything else feeds off of. And there's been a conscious effort from Ben and his dad to not be about serving big, but serving accurately. And I'm sure the man alongside me can attest to the importance of that. He had one of the best serves I'd ever seen for a youngster, technically and outcome-based.
Yeah, you know, very similar to what you were saying. He had life on the serve, and the return points, one was down, and obviously that was a big focus for my game. Ben has continued to find a way to try and push the needle, to be more and more creative about how he produces success on return. I was really impressed with his opening round performance, particularly how he did on second serve return. No way.
Again, Shelton.
A bit of Shelton sizzle early doors. How do you like that, folks? Nice way to go up 4-1 in the opening set. Well, we're not even 20 minutes in, and there's been plenty of eye candy tennis.
That was a great return and a good move forward. This is a really good low stretch chip forehand. Have a look at this. Full run with the little wrist flick, and that ball has action on it. I mean, how short can you get the angle? That's about as well as you can hit a little angle. That is beautifully done.
Time.
We've mentioned one of the most important numbers for Shelton this season will be those return points won, and I can tell you in 2025 his Return points 1.
Fifty-nine.
33.3% last year. And why is that important? Well, no player has ever finished year-end top 5 with a return point 1 percentage below 35%. So Ben's got a bit of a way to go still.
I have a question for you. Obviously, we talk about the USA drought.
And I was just going to say, he was so close to finishing top 5 at year-end. When he went into Turin, he was number 5 in the world. And I was watching that return points 1 percentage. It's so funny because he didn't win a match at the World Tour Finals. And he goes from number 5 to number 9 at the year-end. And it just shows you how strong that statistic is.
Worth noting, he probably does finish top 5 if he didn't have that injury at US Open. And then match against Manarino, we had to withdraw in the 3rd round. He's playing great tennis, had to take a few weeks off there. And when he did restart in Asia, he wasn't the same at that stage. He wasn't getting the same sort of life and action on the serve for a couple weeks.
Yep. Oh, that's nicely done. But it just shows you how well he has been defying the odds with his service game and the rest of his game. And if he can get a bit of an uptick in the return department, well, the sky's the limit. And I'm sure they're well aware of it. He started out with some nice returning here, has Ben. It's a good riposte. This is the 1-2 combination that Dad and Coach Clay was talking about.
So, Robbie, I've got to ask you, with this USA drought,
Okay.
no slam winners since Andy Roddick in 2003, I believe it was.
Yep.
In order to win a major, which is Shelton, you know, he's talked about wanting to be that guy, what number does he have to get to on return points 1? What's the lowest that's ever been done for even some of these big servers who have won Grand Slams?
That's a great shout. I can tell you Roddick in that title-winning season was at 36.4%.
So a full 3% more, 3.1% more.
And checking out recency, I had a look at Dominic Thiem, Ryan, and he was 38.7 when he won the US Open. So that's almost 5% more.
Yeah, and courts have slowed down significantly since Andy won in 2003. And of course, if you tennis fans remember watching that match, I mean, his serve was untouchable in the final there against Juan Carlos Ferrero. He was just dominant on serve. It's more difficult now. The balls are a little bit heavier. The courts are a little bit slower. Say that number from Dominic Thiem is a little bit more in line with where I believe Shelton has to get to if he wants to be that guy. I think that 2003 with the court speed, it would have been a little bit easier to serve your way through it. Now I'm looking at that as the benchmark.
Pete Sampras was able to finish number 1, of course, win majors. His lowest in a season was 35.3, but I mean, he was such a an outlier when it came to serving big, and then only breaking really when he needed to, right?
Yeah.
4-all, he almost wouldn't try to break for 3 or 4 games.
And Pete also wouldn't get caught up in any long games on return after he already had a break in hand. He would shorten those points deliberately, chip and charge, and play a style that allowed him to stay in rhythm without having his service rhythm disrupted. He just believed that if those games kind of stayed on point without having a long return game, it would set him up to continue to have more success and close out serves and style.
That's how it's done. It's such a fascinating statistic and area of the game for me since Jeff Sackman wrote that article back in 2024. I've really been keeping a beady eye on it. One of the best in the business when it comes to looking at things under a microscope. That's why last year was such a fascinating season for me as far as the American was concerned. I was so curious to see if he could defy those odds of being a top 5 player with the return points 1 percentage under 35. Just couldn't get there.
This is a good look here for Sweeny. He's got to try and make good on this second serve chance here. That's a great transition move there from Shelton.
40-30.
And I got to say, he's quick getting up there, Sweeny. You can tell movement's an asset, but I got to go back at John. I don't think that he's moving as well as Tommy or as some of those top guys. Great athleticism here. Full split. Wow.
There's that body serve. The big shout. Just sending the message down the other end of the court to Sweeny. This has been a good contest. It's been lively. It's been entertaining. What's new? Melbourne Park in all her glory. The Yarra River that snakes its way through the city, even the CBD. That picture actually taken from the CBD. There it is in the background. We're at John Cain Arena. The second biggest of the show courts behind Rod Laver. Then it's Margaret Court. 3 retractable roofs. And an Aussie in action. Wow, he's used the full width of the court there. It's close. This electronic line calling in play. Confirmation that it kissed a piece of the line.
Sweeney's going to need to try and find a way to defend his second serve. That's going to be the key here. He's doing pretty well in the first serve. First serve percentage is up, and he's doing all right. Defending his second serve is going to be a point of emphasis throughout this match, as he just doesn't have the same life and action on it as some of the other players.
Dropped in. Silky skills from Sweeny.
40-15.
It was a good run from Shelton, tracking this down, and then Sweeny with the vision, he bends this back around. Shelton might have thought it was carrying long.
Slightly shorter in stature. That's a very difficult volley. It's high-ish on your backhand side. It's tough to get any stick, isn't it? And you're thinking, well, maybe it's going out, but you know deep down inside there's a lot of spin on it. It's probably going to land in. A lot of approval for the return of serve and the way you teed the point up. Done everything right, just the execution letting him down.
Yeah, but that's one of those occasions where, as we were talking about with Pistol Pete Sampras, if you don't get into a long back and forth game on return, it's not the worst thing in the world. Obviously, you would have loved to have made that shot, but to be able to grab these new balls and step up to try and close out this opening set, just over 30 minutes, he's happy with this position.
How is that for a second delivery? Already 5 aces. Dad had a pretty unbelievable serve. He's taught his son well. It's not necessarily the pace of that second serve, but it's the movement through the air. It's a nightmare to deal with.
40-11.
That's what all great servers can do. They can spot serve because they know that accuracy is more important than pace. And of course, if you can marry those two together, well, that's when you'll have one of the best serves in the business, and his is not far away. 3 set points. That is a ruthlessly efficient opening set from Ben Shelton. Dad's delighted, and I'm sure he is too. Just 35 minutes to bag at 6-3.
Well, really good opening set there from the American. He picks up where he left off in that opening round performance against Hugo Humbert. Everyone had that circle as a potential upset, and Shelton just stepped up. Let's take a look by the numbers here First serve percentage was pretty strong for Sweeny, but as you can see, when he missed the first serve, only 40% of second serve points won, and the 62% of first serve points won has got to be a lot higher as well. Shelton was really clinical throughout that set. Didn't face a break point. Makes only 60%, but he's winning 73% of points behind his second serve. That's a ridiculously high number there, and the variance of 33% is very strong there on that second serve points won. You can see the 11 winners, so 7 unforced errors. He's very, very much in line and moving around the young Aussie.
The modern-day tennis player is so athletic. Oh, that was an absolute beauty, as they like to say down here.
Time. Second set, Sweeny to serve. Fifteen.
24 years young is Dane Sweeny. He'll celebrate his 25th birthday on the 12th of February, so not too far away.
Already under pressure here early on. Doesn't want to get behind that early break again. We saw that number 84% was standing true in the opening set whenever he gets the early break. This is not the spot he wanted to be in after trying to pick up some momentum there to finish out the opening set. These feel big. A set and a breakdown with the way that Shelton's serving, faster daytime conditions.
The old serve, survey and volley.
It's a good play. As soon as you recognize that ball's up, to let yourself have the ball drop and reset the point. Sometimes you find it back at neutral. He makes a good move forward. Needs another first serve here.
On a laundry line.
First game, second
An
set.
authoritative break. This is a good position for Shelton to be in early doors in the second round encounter.
It's been so tough for Sweeny on serve, trying to back up that second serve. Shelton won 13 of his last 14 Grand Slam matches after taking the first set, and the only loss was when he had to retire there. So really that stat is an outlier as well, because he's won 100% of the ones as long as he stayed healthy when winning the first set. He's done so well behind the second serve. variation here on the second serve speed. That is 30 kilometers an hour difference between Shelton and Sweeny with the speed on the second serve, and we've seen the difficulty in backing up the second serve for Sweeny, and Shelton on the other side winning 73% of his second serve points.
Magnificently manufactured. We saw a Tennessee hat there, but of course he's a product of the University of Florida, is Shelton. But how about the shot selection here, Ryan?
Well, he recognizes the court positioning so far back for Sweeny, so he goes for that inside-out short in the court. That reminds me of David Ferrer. I used to play him quite a few occasions. He would use that inside-out topspin. It would go through the width of the court. It wouldn't go through the linear portion, and makes you come up, and again, just talent, ball skills, able to control the spins.
The ball kid's just taken one to the body there. And Shelton just checking on her. She's having a little laugh. I'm not sure she expected it to come there quickly, but I must say the difference between when the serve passes the service line by the time it gets to the back, it's lost a lot of pace.
Come on.
It won't hurt that badly.
That's an easy 2-2-4. Those in miles an hour, that's 139 miles an hour, 224 Ks. That's humming.
Yeah.
I mentioned the shoulder injury that
Let's go, baby.
he was struggling with at the US Open.
You can do it. Keep digging.
Come on.
It was a tepid end of season for Shelton whilst he was trying to nurse and get the shoulder right. When he came back, he was still a little tentative. Didn't play particularly well at the year-end tournaments. Won only 3 matches post the US Open.
Well, it's tough. You have so much confidence going, and I think that he was looking at US Open as one of those opportunities for him to make a really deep run. He'd battled so hard throughout the season. He's done so well to continue to progress year over year.
Champion in Canada, of course.
Yeah, Masters 1000 champion. So well at the majors. That's the thing. 3 out of 5 sets for him. Even though he's a big guy, he's so fit, he's so strong and physical that his best performances have oftentimes been at the majors. So he's thinking going in, you know, I've just won my first Masters 1000. I play well at the majors. I've got the home crowd in New York behind me, and then this devastating injury that came out of nowhere on a freak accident fall in the back corner.
Ben Shelton.
Sweeny up and running in the second set. with a service hold to
Set
reduce
to
the arrears to
2-1.
2-1.
Time.
Of course, we've had a couple of birthdays in the last 48 hours. James Duckworth celebrating yesterday, January 21. And we've also had Francis Tiafoe, who has also gone around the sun for another year. And a big shout out to my firstborn, Kyle, who celebrates his 27th birthday today. Wishing you a great day and a good season ahead. Good, so good. I love the fact there's no panic on this passing shot. Because even if Sweeny is there, one of the toughest volleys to hit is coming against something that's slow and low. You've got to be so creative.
Ben Shelton. Shelton leads 3 games to 1.
Control that Shelton has had behind the service. It's a thing of beauty. It's a work of art. A variety, not just bringing the Kenny Powers fastball all the time.
I love that. You're bringing out the eastbound and down reference when we're down under. That's solid.
He's a legend, isn't he, Kenny?
Absolute legend.
Shelton hoping to follow in his footsteps. Kenny would fit in well down under with the mullet, wouldn't he?
No, it would be perfect. The Australian style. They love the mullet and the mustache. It's been in trend down here. You can't walk down the street without seeing pretty much 80–90% of them. Sweeny is really true to his heritage at the moment, staying in fashion style with the hair out the back and the mustache.
Shelton has done such a good job keeping even his ground stroke game watertight. Offered up so few unforced errors. That's what I'm talking about.
Number 14.
More sensational shot making from Shelton.
He's used that forehand down the line whenever the opening's been there on quite a few occasions, and you can see the energy. I love the way he's firing himself up. You know, oftentimes you get a set and a break up and you can hit cruise control, especially for a guy like Shelton, but he's sensing the opportunity to dig in, double break.
Athleticism. As raw and unfiltered as it comes.
Shelton leads 4 games to 1.
He is very much in charge of proceedings here at a set and a double break.
But he's liking in his slot, obviously. A bit more slicing. And just watch when he's on that backhand, he's opening his blade up with nothing on it. See if he can get there and knock a volley off.
Let's find it then. Just let's dig.
All right, let's
Fight, baby. Let's fight. Come on.
Yet to lose a point on serve in the second set. 6 behind the first, 2 behind the second. The winner of this match will take on Valentin Vachereau. He's just beaten Ricky Hijikata in 4 sets. It's another college matchup there. Vachereau and Hijikata. Vachereau, of course, going to Texas A&M. Ricky at North Carolina. Shelton continues in this rich vein of form. It could be A&M versus University of Florida in the 3rd round.
Well, you're seeing a lot of guys in this new trend come through college tennis and make it to the top of the rankings, and I think that's due to the physicality of the nature of the game now. It's slowed down a bit, the balls are heavier, so just those extra years to develop between 18, 19, and say 21, 22, it means a lot. You get a couple years in the gym to obviously stay on an organized, structured schedule. You get guaranteed matches every weekend, at least a couple matches in the spring season from January through May. And
yeah, but you started pushing your legs through too, okay? Push through it with your legs.
Always a little bit of instruction there from the camp. And of course, his father was actually his coach at University of Florida. His father's success as a coach in the collegiate ranks is amazing. As a women's coach first at Georgia Tech, and then the men's. There's so much success across the board.
Yeah, no one's ever done that. Division A college tennis, Division 1 college tennis, men and women champion. It's very different coaching the women to coaching the men, so it shows you the skill set that Brian possesses, not only as a coach but as a father, managing the dynamic between himself and Ben. Oh, what's happened there? There's a lot going on.
The feet moving so quickly backwards that it slipped out from under him, but he recovered. He had enough space and time with the lob going up.
And it almost looked like he was apologizing for the fall, but he wasn't, folks. He was blocking out the sun, so he could hit the smash.
Oh, a little trickster.
40.
He almost pulled this off. If there's ever a time to do it, it's when you got double break in hand.
Ben Shelton. Euros, please.
Not sure what Shelton was thinking
7
there.
leads, 5 games to 2.
Of course, there's no machine at the majors that call or help with the lets. Umpire's got to hear it. Shelton shouldn't need to worry. He's up a set in a double break, 5-2. To lose a point on serve in this set. 10 out of 10 behind the first. He's won both second serve points that he's had to play, 2 of 2.
New balls. Yeah, as if he didn't need any extra help with the new balls coming in. It just makes the serve bite even more than it was. And Robbie, from where we're at, directly behind the court, just watching how much that slider bends off of the court. By the time you make contact with it, you're so far out of position that you're just playing defense and running.
Three set points.
Let for service.
Unleash the heater!
Well, that's a golden serving set from Ben Shelton. He doesn't lose a single point on serve in winning the second. And he's won it convincingly, 6 games to 2. A serving masterclass from the American.
Doesn't get any better than that. all the way through from the very beginning of that set. He had a mission in mind. We are just an hour in. Shelton is raining it down. Let's take a look at it by the numbers, as you said, as we expect. 0 points lost on serve. And did he miss any first serves? He only missed a couple. He missed 2 the entire set. 88% first serve percentage. As we said earlier in the match, the second serve points won still way down for Sweeny, not able to keep pace in that number. 15 winners to just 1 unforced error in the entire set. Still has not faced a break point in the match. And it's just remarkable stuff there from Ben Shelton. He's on a mission today.
So far, so good for Shelton. And Ryan, you've been deep diving into the draw, looking ahead. What are you seeing?
Well, just taking a look at it, the winner of this match plays Vachereau, and I think that Shelton in these conditions, even though Vachereau is a really, really strong player and has been playing well of late, I think that Shelton, assuming he gets through here, you don't want to get too far ahead of yourself. But Shelton has played well against Casper Ruud in the past, and not to look past some other guys in that section, Cilic, Shapovalov, but I like Shelton. I think his chances to make the quarterfinals here are strong. There's a lot to be looking forward to throughout this tournament, but Shelton, with the way he's playing right now, you just say watch out. He looks to be back in really strong form.
Potential matchup with Sinner will be a fascinating one. He's a real thorn on Shelton's side, as he has been for pretty much everybody on tour.
Is it 19 consecutive sets now in that matchup from Sinner over Shelton?
2, 4, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. You're right.
On memory, it's not letting me down yet.
Shelton won the very first encounter back in 2023, but since then he hasn't won a set.
7-6 in the third in Shanghai, is that right?
Six, 4, 7, 6. Wimbledon.
The last Shelton win was 7-6 in the third. The only win, right?
Oh, excuse me. Yes, Shanghai is only won 7-6 in the third. Yeah, back in 2023, the first match they played. Still a long way to go. Any tennis player will tell you. The only thing that matters is the next point.
Sweeny to serve.
Yes, please. Talk about using the full dimensions of the court here and intelligently aiming for the diagonal to the max. Postage stamp passing shot right in the top corner.
This is dangerous territory now for Sweeny. You saw what happened in the opening 2 sets when he was down a break. Couldn't muster up a single point against the Shelton serve in set 2.
And that's been the case for the match, folks. Still not seen a break point yet, the Aussie. Beautiful 1-2 punch. Early, accurate.
30.
Top-tier tennis. That forehand has melted into his strings.
40-30.
That's the best point of the match for Sweeny by far. On the run here, recognizes Shelton trying to get around and hit that lefty forehand. He sneaks it by him.
Yes.
Just trying to sustain some momentum. You play a point like that and you get the crowd going. It's tough to take the wind out of your sails right away with a double fault. You got to try and build momentum and stack that energy so the crowd can really get behind you.
I'm thinking a lot of things about this match today. The first round matchup for Shelton against Ugo Umbe. Very tricky matchup. We know how well Ugo plays. Coming for a good result last week as the Frenchman. And it's a match that would have really sharpened Shelton's focus from the very first ball.
I think Shelton's annoyed with himself that he did all the work to get there and then he missed it. It was such a good run and the foot speed covering all this ground. I mean, he's there in enough time. He can't believe he leaked that wide. He's thinking, oh man, I got there in time and couldn't quite push that thing inside the line.
Of course, making the finals of Adelaide.
Advantage Sweeny.
I don't know about you, Ron, but whenever I played against a player who was playing well and it's just a tough out, it always feels like the next match that you play after, you are so ready. You've played somebody who takes time away, he's got firepower. There's very few players that you could play after that match that be able to match what he's done, and you feel like you've got all the time in the world.
Ben Shelton.
Sweeny calling on some more support from the fans because he's going to need it.
First game, first
He's had to
set.
work very hard there in this opening game of set number 3. He's battling tough and he's hanging in there. To save off a break point. Shelton was in the rally and had some chances. And one of the things we're going to look at is why he's having to work so hard. Let's take a look at the unreturned serve stats. Shelton at 62% of serves unreturned. Sweeny down at just 18% of unreturned serves. And what that tells you is on the Sweeny service game, he's having to work so hard and physically endure every single point. And that's why he's finding himself in some deficits. Going to have to try and land a few more first serves on target.
Again, don't know if that's hits her or if it's just hit the hand. It's not the first time. Almost got to be like a wicket keeper. Anticipate the ball coming to you. Oh.
Is that how a wicketkeeper catches it right there? Just right in the mitt?
Oh, yeah. That's a rare point that he's lost on serve. Remember, second set. Shelton didn't lose a single point behind his serve, first or second.
But incredibly, he only had to hit 2 second serves in the entire set.
Yeah, it was a double break. So he's padding the numbers, but we want to big him up.
Well, if you think about all the aces he's hitting, you'd think, okay, with that target and going that close to the line, you'd surely misfire on a couple. Nope, just twice.
And as we said, that's been a big improvement for him. Something that they've really wanted to do. Not only go for the big serves, but serve accurately, serve with spin, shape.
Worked
in the backhand a lot in the last off-season. Telling the 2024 to Shelton just to get a bit more shape on that shot, make it more reliable as a ground stroke.
Ben Shelton.
He's made a lot of good decisions today. So easy to want to go to the open court on that volley, but that is 100% correct shot choice. Today we're focusing on the bottom half of the draw. The third round is complete in the top half. And already a couple of wins today for Jakub Inchik, Valentin Bashirov, Karen Hashanov. Taking care of another American, Nishesh Basavaredi. And Luciano Darderi beating Sebastian Baez. So 4 winners already today.
Ben Sweeny.
Comfortable hold. Always a warm welcome.
Sweeny leads 2-1.
2-1 third set. Shelton 2 sets to love. One of the things that we have been discussing, Ryan and I, is the service is not only about the pace, but the variety is just gorgeous.
Well, the first serve and the second serve placement, you can see he's varying it quite well. He's going pretty much even variation of both sides. He's leaning on those wide serves, hitting those wide serves so short in the court. Those aces there on the deuce court.
That's a tougher serve for a lefty, right?
It theoretically should be, but
Yep.
if you look at the way, I mean, look how short they are in the deuce court and the ad court. He's got that ability to break it off the court, bend it. It's remarkable stuff.
Only hit 2 second serves in that second set, as Ryan alluded to.
And in calling his first match, listening in on the advice from his dad in the box, he kept saying no straight lines. He kept saying, make it bend. And that shows you there the ball is bending outside the court. Obviously for Sweeny, at only 5'7", the more the ball is going to break away from him. He just doesn't have that reach and length to be able to track it down. And I think that gives Shelton even more ability to open up the court.
Did he say, make it bend?
He said, make it bend and then make it bend. A little bit of both.
1-2, third set. It's just a work of art.
15 love.
He's got Sweeny at his mercy right now.
He's got it all going here. It's the drop shot and then recognizing that Sweeney's too close into the net.
It's one of the very few straight lines we've seen today on serve from Shelton.
Well, that one recognizing that Sweeney's going to have to start leaning and guessing, and when you recognize a guy starting to lean out to cover that wide serve, he opens it up the other way.
Watching players with good soft skills. They both showed it there. Shelton almost a little unlucky.
That actually hurt him on that one, right?
Mm-hmm. 40-15. Ben Shelton.
It's tough to reel this guy in when he wins the opening 2 sets at a major. In fact, no one has so far in his career.
Well, for the sheer time he's been on tour, he's only been on tour for a few years, and as we saw a moment ago, his first time ever outside the States was 2023 when he came down here and made the quarterfinals. So I already have 19 times where he built himself up 2 sets lead. That's really high. I was expecting to be less than that.
Love 15.
Shelton is sensing the moment. So is Brian.
That's how accurate it's got to be.
15-30.
Exactly where Dad Clay would have put the can when he was feeding him balls and say, okay, let's see how tight you can hit your easy forehand to the line. I think he would have knocked over the can on that occasion. Well, he's got the hard hat on, hasn't he? He's going to work here.
30.
As my co-commentator has suggested, it's somewhat of a problem for Sweeny. He has to play these kind of points on serve time and time again because he's getting so few freebies when he steps up to the line.
That's a great return there. It's all about the depth. Shelton actually took a step back to make sure he got a full hit on this ball on this return. And he puts it right up there next to the baseline. This has the feeling of a match point, just the way that Shelton's been serving. If he's able to get up the break here, it feels like this could be it. So big moment here for Sweeny.
Well. Sometimes you need a little bit of luck. Sweeny had it on 2 occasions there. The guess and the miss hit, both working out well.
A lot of it was the timing as well, the anticipation. You know, you wait till Shelton, who's trying to keep one eye out on the other side of the court, he has to commit. Good instincts.
Thank you.
Tell you what, that wasn't far away. He knows it.
Sweeny was stuck in his place watching.
Advantage, Sweeny.
Unbelievable foot speed there from Shelton just to run that down and get in a position. Look how far he is outside the court. He goes with the full 360 turn. He nearly pulled this off.
Majestic.
It's unbelievable movement there from Shelton. Firstly tracking this down, and then the ability to turn around and flick this lob up over him. And Johnny Millman said that he felt that Sweeny was maybe the fastest and best mover on tour. I'm not convinced that he's the fastest and best mover in this match. Shelton's been moving through the corners, in and out, everywhere.
Advantage, Shelton. Yes.
Again, the court coverage. Sweeny might be down here. Looks to be okay. Look at this on the run. Diving attempt there from Sweeny, leaving it all out there.
Advantage Shelton.
It's a banana beauty from the American. When you talk about playing with shape, he has done that so well today. Not only off of his serve, but the rally ball in the backhand, the passing shots with the forehand. He's been a shape shifter.
Yes. Advantage Sweeny. Yes.
Sweeney's serve has really helped Shelton with is just get his eye in on the return of serve. Being able to get a lot of racket on ball, make a lot of meaningful returns. That'll help build the confidence in that area of his game going forward. Making Sweeny work so hard behind his deal yet again.
Advantage Shelton.
Another chance here for Ben Shelton, keeping that pressure on. Brian saying get the ball up, so you'll see Ben back up a bit here, try to shape the ball.
That's a brilliant return of serve. And he is fired up because he knows a place in the third round is looming large. 2 sets to love, and the break has got a nice ring to it.
Well, there's a big resistance there from Sweeny. You see the big reaction from Ben Shelton. Very good adjustment there from the corner just before that point. We saw in the cameras, great camera work there, catching the guidance from Brian Shelton, telling Ben to back up, play the return with a bit more shape. What happened? He got the mistake on the first ball from Sweeny. So not to be overlooked, those little indicators throughout the match of knowing, reading the moment, knowing your player.
Time.
Come on. Come on. Let's go.
Ben Shelton has often spoken about the difference between his two kids, his daughter, who's very chilled, mild-mannered, versus Ben growing up, who has just a bundle of energy. Couldn't be any different. Tennis has been the perfect channel for all that exuberance. It's been a joy to watch. It's not coming back.
It's the best point that Sweeney's played on return.
Love 15. Thirteen, 15.
Again, it's not the speed of the serve.
Serve, you can't really handle that forehand. Good job.
That's a subtle message to say that kick serve to the forehand, keep it up.
Well, you see Sweeny there just struggling to
40-15.
battle the spin. So he backs up to see if he can give himself a little bit more space as he can't get on top of it. And that's where the width of the court, the angle from Shelton comes into play, and he's nowhere near the serve.
What an athlete. What a player. What a place to showcase your skills at the highest level.
Another one. Come on, take your
Got some
time.
USA
Start
flags
the
in the
same
crowd
way.
too.
Come on.
Take a look at the stride length. He is covering ground in a hurry, like a track star. Covering ground. Actually, another 360 here, and then quick burst.
Love 15. $15.
Sweeney's just having to swing so much above his comfort zone. I call it redlining, when you're in a car and you see that RPMs meter and you get to the red zone and you know that it's dangerously high RPMs, you're going out of control.
You got it.
Let's go. Come on, come on. Believe, baby.
What you need in these kind of moments.
15-14.
And you get the feeling we are pretty close to the last rites here for Sweeny.
Few mistakes from Ben Shelton.
30-14.
Still has another opportunity. If he can get that double break.
That approach down the line, either slice or hit it and come in. You're on the same side of the court as the approach. Such a strong position. He does indeed get the double break. The checkered flag is well within sight now for Shelton.
5 games to 2.
He leads 5-2 in the third. There's a reason they call him Box Office Ben. He's not quite Ben Barishnikov yet. But he's giving us pirouettes, 360s. And those first 3 or 4 steps, like a panther. Power steps. Seeking out the prey.
This was ridiculous here.
Time.
Gets all the way up and flicks this by him.
And the combination of the Panther power and feel was on full display there. Beautiful work by our production team, bringing these magnificent pictures to you wherever you are around the world.
Well, Shelton's going to go to serve this thing out, but just always still have him out here. Sweeny, what an incredible effort getting through the qualifying and winning his opening round match against Gael Monfils. So much has changed for him in the last year and finds himself up in the top 200 in the world now, closing in on 150 in the world. It's been a really great start to the year for Sweeny, regardless of this match. A lot of things for him new for the first time here this year. They play a top 10 player. John Cain Arena. He's had to work really hard throughout his career, obviously, with his size and stature. He's had to be physical, he's had to be fit, continue to develop his game, look at ways to be offensive, and this check here will go a long way for him as he builds throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah, 225,000 Aussie dollars. It's about 153,000 US. That's a good chunk of change for making it through to the second round.
And for Shelton, this could potentially be the fewest amount of games he's ever lost at a Grand Slam level. The previous was 8.
Well, this has been box office Ben. Ruthlessly efficient. Couple of match points.
He wanted that one in style to finish it off.
40-15.
Too big, too strong, and simply too good from Shelton.
6-2.
The beautiful brutality of his serve laid the foundation for the rest of his game to excel off of. He was commanding, he was compelling at times, but boy, did he keep it watertight today. The fewest games he's ever lost at a major.